Alright, yo, inside this video, I'm gonna talk about how you can pretty much hack your brain to get absolutely anything you want in this life that's aligned with your purpose and aligned with your spirit. And this is shit that is common knowledge, but just not applied. And many people will know about this stuff, but they just don't apply it with faith. And what I'm gonna talk about is how you can use visualization to manifest and create anything in your reality that you want. And man, I've had some crazy fucking experiences with this shit. I went from being a lost university student, I was drinking like 4 times a week, clubbing 4 times a week. And I dropped out of uni, then I found myself in a supermarket job. I was pulling 1,000 kg pallets off of a lorry at 5 or 6 in the morning in the freezing ass cold. And it was around this time that I came across what visualization was, the power of visualization, the power of just having a vision in general. And this is what set my life off on an entirely different trajectory. And during these days when I was working at this supermarket, it was around 2022. And I got clear on my vision by just simply writing down what I wanted in all areas of my life. I got clear on each area: business and money, health and fitness, love and relationships, family, friends, and studying and learning, and also just how I wanted my lifestyle to look in general. And so I started on this journey. I just started meditating every day. I came across guys like Joe Dispenza, guys like Bob Proctor. If you've read Think and Grow Rich, you should probably reread that book again, because it's a fucking good book if you understand what it's saying. And I just literally sat down every day and I started visualizing. And the way visualization works is it's basically where you're getting yourself into a state where your brain is much more impressionable. And the best way I can describe this is, you imagine the last time you've had a dream or a nightmare. Chances are in the moment it felt real, and that's why you woke up and remembered the dream. And very simply, your brain doesn't know the difference between a dream and reality until you actually wake up. And so if that's the case, you can consider everything to pretty much be a dream. And if you understand the powers of lucid dreaming, where you can become conscious in your dreams, that's when shit gets real, because you can actually start creating whatever you want in that dream state within that lucid dream. And what's mad is you can do that as well in the physical reality that you're living in right now. There's just a slight delay sometimes with manifestations. Sometimes they're just instant, but there's just a slight delay. And so the way this works is you just get real intentional with what you want. You get clear on your vision, and don't really put a time frame on it, because time doesn't exist beyond the third dimension. So don't put any like time constraints on what you want to manifest. The real answer is to simply embody it and live it as if it's done now. Live as if your prayers are already done. So let's say you want to start a business, you want to scale, let's say, to 100K per month in profit, and you want to be living a life of freedom. Like, that's a specific vision, and you can get way more specific than that as well. But if you have that intention in your mind and you're open to any kind of path being shown to you in order to get to that destination, then as long as you hold faith, you're going to get that thing. And by visualizing every single day, you can then start impressing the subconscious mind, and eventually what you believe in your subconscious will change with what you're visualizing. It will change into alignment with what you're visualizing. And so if you start feeling the emotions that you would feel when you're already making 100K per month in profit, when you're already living a life of freedom, you can even ask yourself right now, what would you be feeling? Well, abundance, love, joy, freedom. And if you look at the vibrational chart, you'd be feeling all of these expanded states of emotion. And when you're in that state of energy, and when that state of energy and those emotions become a habit, your reality around you is going to entirely change, because you're going to be looking at your reality through an entirely different lens of beliefs. Because chances are right now, if you're not where you want to be, especially with money, or let's say even with relationships, chances are you don't feel abundant. chances are you don't feel love. Chances are, if anything, you feel scarcity and you feel lack, for example. And that's why you don't have a nice relationship or you don't have money in your bank account. So, real simple, give yourself permission to feel what it is that you want as if it's done right now. And that's what visualization is. And so you get yourself into a deeply relaxed state. You relax your body almost in a state just before where you're sleeping. Like, you know, when you wake up and you have those crazy dreams, like just before you wake up, you want to get yourself in that kind of state. And then what you want to do is you can use a guided visualization. There's a few guys I recommend. Joe Dispenza, another guy, search him up on Spotify. He's called Glenn Harold. He's really good. And you can use any guided visualization, and they will basically guide you through what it is you want to manifest. So you can even do this for yourself. You can even record an audio with what you want to manifest. It doesn't matter what strategy you use, as long as you're actually just embodying the feeling and impressing the subconscious mind with new beliefs, then it's going to manifest in your reality. So you want to do that pretty much every day. Get clear on your vision and then just sit down and visualize it and feel the emotion. The emotion is the key. Feel the emotion as if it's done right now. And you'll have some crazy experiences in your reality when you hold faith that your vision's already done. Like, for example, for me, I went from working in that supermarket to, there was one day where it came to a point and I was like, yo, I've got to quit this job. Because I'd visualized myself running my business so many times over that it came to a point where I was really just questioning why I'm actually in this job. Was it just because of a small element of fear that my business wouldn't work? And I realized that my higher self would not have any fear of his business failing because it would just work. And so I quit my job. I wrote down my notice, and what happened was mad. Within the exact same minute of me writing down my notice, and I can put some pictures up on the screen if I remember to, what happened is my friend messaged me when I wrote down my notice. I sent it into a group chat, a picture of my notice, as weird as it sounds. And the amount of messages in the group chat was 333, and the time was 10:52 at night. Now, what was mad is my friend, he owns a business and he helps other content creators on Instagram basically manage all of their content and stuff like that. Like, he does content editing for them. And he reached out to me when I sent this message into this chat. But the strange thing is he wasn't in the chat to see the message. So he's just randomly reached out to me in the moment that I made the decision to quit my job. And he actually sent me a message saying, yo, bro, I've got an opportunity for you. And the opportunity was that I could manage some of his clients as if they were my own. And so in that exact moment of me making the decision to quit my job after visualizing day in, day out, me already running my own business, I didn't have to do any work. I didn't have to do any outreach, didn't have to get on any sales calls. I was just simply handed clients, big clients out of nowhere from the universe. And it was a blessing in that exact moment. And 2 days later, I found myself in a Canary Wharf office, and I'd also landed one of my biggest clients at the time and one of the clients that I worked with for the longest time ever on the side of what clients my friend gave me. And my life changed from there. I went from working at crazy hours in the supermarket to living a life of freedom. My lights turned off. This happened in the other video. Went to living a life of freedom, which is exactly how I visualized it ought to be. And there's been so many other experiences just like this. Some that I can't really talk about. I mean, one that I can talk about now is me in my car right now. I visualized myself driving around in this car with ambient lighting all around me at night. And I got that shit. It just happened and it just feels normal. That's the other thing as well. The only thing that's stopping you from basically experiencing something physically in your reality that you're trying to manifest, one of the major things anyway that's stopping you, is that you're placing so much importance on that thing happening that you're actually therefore remaining separate from it. Because you wouldn't place importance on you having the phone in your hand right now that you're watching this video on. Maybe at one point in the past you did, but right now you wouldn't. Same goes for your shoes. Maybe you have some nice shoes on that you once wanted. As soon as you have them, you don't still think about them on a daily basis. They're just there in the background, and it's cool, it's done. And that's the exact same approach you want to have to your vision. You just want to have your vision being as normal as the sun rising in the morning. You don't question it, you don't look for it, you just know it's gonna happen. Okay? And that's really one of the biggest keys. You just know that it's already done. And if you don't believe that to even be possible, then just fake it. Lie to yourself, fake it. You just gotta brainwash yourself, and it will happen for you. So to kind of summarize this video into some action points in order to visualize and manifest what you want to do is, number one, get very clear on exactly what it is that you desire to create in your reality. Get super specific, not just I want a successful business. That's too vague. Imagine that you're placing an order to Amazon, right? You wouldn't just be like, oh, I want this kind of gray flipping, I don't know, whatever people buy from Amazon. You wouldn't just be like vague with it. You'd look specifically for what you want, you'd search for it, you'd get detailed on it, and then you'd buy it, right? Same thing with the universe. Place an order for exactly what you want. If you want a business that's making 7 figures a month profit, and you also live a life of freedom, working a few hours a day because you've systemized the business, then ask for that. Okay? Like, ask for that shit, and you'll get it. And you will have to do some work, depending on how complex it is that you're trying to, complex it is whatever creation you want, you will have to do some work. That's why we're on the physical plane. But you can have anything. That's my point. If you want a relationship with, if you were to like describe your dream partner, if you wanted that relationship, write that shit down. Get very clear on it. Even the weird shit, get clear on it. And it will happen. If you want to be living in your dream house, draw your house out exactly how you want it. Even if it's not even fucking built yet, draw it out and it will happen. My point is, just get super specific on everything. And the more specific you get, the more clear the signal will be that you actually send to the universe, to God, to source, whatever you want to call it. And so your thoughts send the signal, the feelings draw it back. All you have to do, your job, is literally just to feel with faith that your vision is done. Every day, impress the subconscious mind by sitting in that state when you wake up, before you go to sleep. You want to get into that drowsy state, that dreamlike state. And that's when you want to start playing the scene in your mind of you having your vision. And before you know it, it will just, the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. So I'm going to leave this video here. If you want any more guidance on how to go about this process, more step-by-step with some clearer kind of action points, especially with how to build your vision and also how to reprogram your subconscious mind, then message me on Instagram at mindofkian. I'll get back to you. Just send me the word scale season.